Welcome back to another episode of Scryer's Room. I am your host, Famfare.
I'm Kevin.
I'm Mario.
Hi, I'm Nick.
We got Nick for one more episode.
And we want to discuss how bad Marvel movies have become.
It's bananas.
So, like, we had dabbled on this a little bit in a previous episode. Like, Marvel movie has become its own genre of bad movie.
Yeah.
Which is crazy when you've like been able to pull that off.
Right, because it used to be a genre of good movie
A
action.
culmination of 10 years of movies.
Yeah, because there was superhero movies, which because it was Fox doing them was just bad movies, fell in that category. And then they did Iron Man. And Iron Man was an actual great fucking movie, and that was the first Marvel movie.
Well, so
of when they after Disney bought them.
So Nick just said the culmination of 10 years of yada yada whatever, and you know why they're bad now? It's because they already blew their load.
They're finished.
They're in the vinegar strip now.
They finished doing Marvel movies. We don't need to do anymore.
And then the snap and all that shit and whatever, and then I am Iron Man, man, and then you're done.
I cried.
Yeah, stop. But no, they were just. We need more money.
I still say
baby.
Instead of just going silent, that's when they should have put in the starting riff of the song.
Yeah.
Like right as soon as the snap hit. Yeah. That would have ruled.
But like,
would it have undercut emotionally? Maybe.
Definitely.
But that's not what these movies are about.
It would have brought a different emotion.
Yeah.
They should have gone dark for a while until people were like, I miss Marvel movies. And then you can go make more of your shit. Don't just... But no, they were just like...
Piling it on.
No, they're just like, we're just going to put a funnel in their mouth.
Yeah.
And then we're going to feed
a
them.
streaming service now.
It's like, it's like force feeding a goose for foie gras. Oh, it's terrible.
And just like force feeding a goose for foie gras, the corn-mealy, disgusting thing that they've been giving us is a poison.
Yeah.
Because, good lord. So I think 2 movies out of the recent run of movies, and I think I might be a full phase behind with these 2 movies. Because God knows how much shit comes out. And that was the last Guardians of the Galaxy movie, Guardians of the Galaxy 3. I really enjoyed that one.
Not bad.
I still haven't seen it.
I really enjoyed it. Tony's not allowed to watch it.
Yeah, I'm not allowed to watch that movie. I was told I should watch it once and then never again because it's going to hurt me.
It'll fuck you up.
It'll hurt you.
Yeah, and
So-
I know why it's going to hurt me because of
It
spoilers.
does hurt.
And I don't want to watch that. That sounds terrible.
I've seen the movie a bunch of times. It hurts every time.
It hurts every...
I feel like I'll cry like a big baby.
You will.
probably will.
So
Yeah.
this isn't us saying like, oh, this is such a good and emotional movie. I'm saying like the specifics of this event in this movie will affect this person specifically.
We've talked about Big Tony. This is like anti-Big Tony.
Yeah.
This is like the kryptonite of Big Tony. Oh, you give me cute little critter animals and then murder them tragically.
Yeah.
And give you a terrible background story. Heart-wrenching.
Yeah.
I can't.
Yeah, it's devastating.
It is.
Maybe one day I'll sit down in horror. Like, what are you guys watching? Guardians 3? Oh, I guess I'll hang out with you at the end. I'm just weeping. Like
It's a really enjoyable film, like in the way that Marvel movies had historically been, and then also emotionally devastating. So I think that's just that means that I just have to say it's good.
Yeah, I get
It's
that.
fun, and it elicited the emotional response that definitely tried for.
But also, I don't like that one because I don't like how they did Adam Warlock. And Adam Warlock's like my favorite.
Yeah,
But
they made him lame.
they made him
They
pretty
made him a
fucking
baby.
lame.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then his whole intro arc with Earth B and they really fucked that up, but they try to mash it into one thing. So I understand why they did it and why it went down like that, but at the same time I wasn't very satisfied with it. Because I've been waiting for Adam Warlock to show up for like 8 years.
Yeah. That was when you were collecting comics. That was your guy.
my guy.
Yeah.
He's the guy.
And the other movie that I've enjoyed out of the recent batch, well, I guess Spider-Man doesn't count because
don't count.
Spider-Man doesn't count. Shang-Chi. I enjoyed Shang-Chi.
It was pretty.
It was
good,
Kung
too.
Fu Man and giant dragons, and I enjoyed it. I just really enjoyed it.
I don't even know what the fuck that is.
Yeah, Chinese Marvel movie.
Yeah. So remember how they already did the 10 Rings and the Mandarin? Well, they decided, what if we did it for real this time instead of doing a bit and making it just a dumb English guy? So it turns out that dumb English guy was doing what turned out even in universe to be a very culturally insensitive copy of a real crime man who's an immortal kung fu master with alien technology on his wrists.
He did not like that.
He didn't. He didn't care for it at all. He kidnapped his ass. Took him right out of the superhero prison that they made. And then keeps him in a dungeon with a little faceless monster.
Brutal.
Anyway, that guy has a kid named Shang-Chi. And they have... he and his sister have a wonderful life with their mother and their immortal father. And then mom dies. And then father gets all strict about teaching kung fu. And crime, I guess, probably. To his son. And then completely is like, and my daughter will learn no kung fu. No reason. One of the reasons he liked his wife so much is that she knew kung fu. So I don't know why he chose to specifically not train his daughter. But that's neither here nor there. The whole plot of the movie is at some point, Shang-Chi escaped, lived a regular life, and now he has, regular friends, and then his dad's decided it's time to get his kids back into the game because he has technically been possessed by an evil dragon.
Pretty cool.
Okay.
And it was a pretty enjoyable film.
It's not bad.
I enjoyed it.
It's not bad.
They should have kept introducing new characters, I think, rather than doing... some of the sequels that they chose to do. Multiverse of Madness wasn't so good. For Doctor Strange. That was...
It wasn't great.
It had some interesting ideas. It did kill one of the main characters that everyone was really excited about with Scarlet Witch. And it showed us... For some reason they were like, let's do a multiverse thing. And show universes where it's like, oh, ain't you wish this movie was about that? Interesting choice to then be like, and that's not what our movie's about. In fact, we're going to squish that. So it doesn't even exist.
We killed that.
We killed all of that. So that movie that you could imagine that you think that would be a really good movie, it couldn't even happen now. Get it out of your head.
That sounds terrible.
Yeah, babe. Yeah. That's a move that people do a lot with multiverse stories, and I don't know why.
And that's where the whole issue with the Marvel movies started. Because if you hadn't watched the WandaVision, you're like, what? Why is this?
Multiverse of Madness makes no sense.
Yeah, why is this happening? I don't remember. Why? Yeah, if I just watched the movies in order, you're like, I don't know.
And wasn't WandaVision the first one they made?
It was.
It was one of the first.
And see, I feel like that was always risky territory to be like, oh, we have Disney Plus now, we're going to start making Marvel shows. Because I guess they just assumed they'd be bigger hits than they were.
Well, I mean, they were tremendous hits.
Well, I guess more what I mean is I think it is error to force someone to watch a show to enjoy a movie.
Exactly.
If a movie sequel, that's one thing. You've set up what needs to happen to understand the next one. But if I can't understand Doctor Strange 2 because I didn't watch a fucking Disney Plus exclusive show, that's bad marketing.
So I
think that's bad marketing.
There's a concept in writing called the text needs to be in the text.
Yeah, exactly.
If to understand your thing, I not only have to see all of the series of this thing, I don't just have to see the first Doctor Strange movie. I need to see things that Doctor Strange isn't even in to understand this Doctor Strange movie. That text isn't even in this text. Those are two completely different, unrelated things that are crashing together. Then, unfortunately, you're not going to have a very good movie.
Yeah, typically.
The text needs to be in the text. They could have told the story of Wanda, in that whole thing, she turns evil because she reads an evil book that tells her that she can get her children, who technically never exist. She imagined them. But they could exist in the multiverse. But in order to do that, the evil book tells her you need to eat this random girl who has the power to jump between universes. And she's like, bet, I'll do that immediately. I'll control a demon from another dimension to do it. I learned how to do that from an evil book too. The evil book, which does have the power to travel between certain dimensions and stuff. I'm not going to learn any of that. But creating a giant eye monster, definitely going to do that. And then
Shumagorath?
I believe that it just looks like it. That's not the actual creature.
Okay.
But it does look exactly like him.
Okay. Kind of lame, but all right.
Yeah. They could have shown Wanda's actual story of she has fallen to this book, which has told her that not only is her emotional story not complete, which it already was. It could like we could see all of that in this movie, and there's lots of space for it. And I know there's lots of space for it because we don't need to see this initial like, oh, she's running through the multiverse crazy stuff. We didn't need to see all of that. What we need to see is the things that make the story matter.
Yeah, and that would have taken like 5 minutes,
Yeah.
wrapping up stuff from WandaVision, compacting into a little 5-minute thing, just drop it in the movie.
Yeah, you could get an AMV editor from 2008 to put together a 3-minute spread for you, and then everyone's up to speed.
Yep. Too easy. Easy fix.
Not too easy. That's what they couldn't do. They had to do something avant-garde.
Yeah.
And fail. Fail horribly, apparently.
I mean, there's something to be said about, like, respecting your audience, about, like, oh, I don't need to explain everything to them. But you do need to explain
Enough for the movie to work.
enough so that this movie could work alone.
No, it's more about you pay for that subscription, you piece of shit.
I think that's just a bad business
Get on
model,
that
dude.
Disney. Yeah.
It's certainly an evil one.
I refuse to fucking pay for Disney Plus. I'm not going to watch any of those goddamn shows. So if you want me to go see your movies and I can't understand your movies unless I buy a subscription service from you, get bent, dude. I'm not doing that.
A subscription service that even if you pay for it to not have commercials, it still has commercials at the front sometimes.
AIDS. Terrible. Pancreatic cancer. That's what that is. It's terrible.
I need our money, guy.
Well, I'm sorry, but due to previous licensing deals, we have to put this commercial for our new Christmas movie out.
And when you sign up for Disney Plus, you sign away your rights to like sue Disney.
Arbitration, yeah. You have to do
Yeah.
all things through arbitration. That's so fucking evil. That so when that dude, apparently, some chick and her husband went to one of the Disney places and got ordered food, and they asked, "Hey, my wife is deathly allergic to this thing. This food doesn't have that thing in it, does it?" And they said, "No, bet it's fine." And it had that thing in it, and she fucking died. And so the guy's trying to fucking sue for wrongful death. And yeah, because he did the free trial of fucking Disney Plus, they tried to pull that shit on him, dude. I never checked if that got thrown out or not.
That shit on.
It worked?
I'm pretty sure.
They pulled it on
God.
it to try it, and then when everyone was like, obviously that's not going to hold up and makes you look like psycho evil monsters, they were like, we're just kidding, guy. We would never.
Fucking crazy, man. Fucking crazy.
Also, apparently they didn't own the business. It was just on Disney-owned land.
That's legitimate. More legitimate argument to not having to fucking pay wrongful death.
I mean,
whoever
still
owns that
fuck
business,
Disney, but
no, for sure. But
apparently
whoever
that
owns
was
that business needs to have the hammer dropped on him. But
That-
it doesn't own the business. It's not the problem. So yeah,
But they like rent from Disney.
Yeah.
Apparently.
yeah. Well, I don't know the details, so I'm not going to comment.
I'm sure there's a bunch of complicated legal shit, but that is certainly some evil ass shit to be
100%.
to have you like with essentially like no preparation.
It's the human centipede ad.
Yeah, it's the human centipede.
100%.
Yeah. You didn't read the fine print.
Why won't it read?
No one does.
What do you mean you don't read the terms?
Butter's reading the whole thing and then hitting decline.
I'm gonna decline. Ridiculous.
Good lord.
But yeah, them's the times, I guess.
Them's are the times.
You can sign away your rights on accident. Luckily, we all have that free law degree that the government gives out, right? Everybody? So we won't be taken advantage of?
God bless. Fucking.
That's enough me being a negative Nancy. I can really bring down the energy if I try. We're going to talk about a different aspect of the Marvel films, besides like the fact that they've been just a general disappointment for a couple of years. There's a different side of things, the dark side of things in the Sonyverse. You see, Sony making all of the Spider-Man villain movies has been a fucking trip.
Morbius.
They made Venom, and let me tell you, they thought they had it.
They did pretty good with Venom 1.
We've taken the bull by the horns and we're driving it around like it's a motorcycle and we're cavemen in Flintstone times. But unfortunately, what they had was one pretty good movie. And then they made Venom 2 and Morbius and Madam Web and Venom 3. And...
I didn't even know there was 2 more Venoms.
I didn't know there was Venom 3.
Yeah.
Venom 3. Not that great.
No. In fact,
I don't know about Madam Web either.
I'm shocked.
Yeah.
I haven't told you about Madam Web.
No.
Yeah, you don't want to watch that one.
That bad, huh?
Okay, so the crux of all of these movies, the things that let them actually get made, is that they all are Spider-Man adjacent, right?
Yeah.
What kind of character would you guess Madam Web is?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Dommy Mommy Black Widow?
It's a pretty good guess. Anyone else who doesn't know anything about it have any guesses?
I had originally assumed she was like an alternate version of Spider-Man. And then it was like, nope, that's wrong.
That is
You're
not correct.
dumb. And I was, oh, okay, I'm sorry. Madam Web isn't a Spider-Man-ish kind of gal from some other shenanigans, and it's nope.
Not at all.
Not at all.
You have a guess there, Nick?
Oh, I've seen the movie.
Okay, well, for those of you who have not, so Madam Web, get this, she's a woman who, her mom, when she was pregnant with her, she was in South America looking for magic spiders. They actually like go out of their way to say these spiders, if they bite you, you could get superpowers.
God damn it.
And don't worry, that's not going to be a part of it. Because she starts going into labor after a gunfight with some other crazy people down in South America ways, because crime is rampant in the science jungles. By the way, we have no idea why she's like specifically down there. She's just looking for this spider. Is she there with like a scientific team? Is she trying to get superpowers? That's not part of this movie, so get it out of your head.
It's not important.
Not important. She gives birth to this baby in this village, and this spider-themed shaman woman is like, hey, this kid is going to come back here one day, and she's going to be magic. And they're like, oh. And then we cut forward ahead to a young lady who's an EMT, emergency medical. She's there trying to do emergency stuff, and she unlocks the power of the spiders. Would you like to know what that power is?
Sure.
She can kind of see the future sometimes.
Because Web of Fate, I guess?
Who can say about that? We're certainly not going to make any mention of that in the film. No. What we're going to do is make her immediately think there's no way to change the future, because she sees her friend drive off in the ambulance and then immediately get hit by a truck. So she stops him and is like, hey, you're going to get in a car accident. And he's like, I'm a great driver, you don't know. And then she's like, you're right, maybe I'm crazy. Because you think she's crazy right now. Anyway, and then he pulls off like 50 feet away, and then bam, truck, dead. So she should think at this point, oh, I can't change the future. Which is why she spends the rest of the movie changing the future while still under the impression she cannot change the future. Because that would be like a whole other kind of writing that these guys have never even heard of. Anyway, there's... reasonable even. Now, you might remember from some of the ad materials that there should be 4 spider people in this movie. There are 3 Spider Women, and then also a villain from before Spider-Man. And this guy's actually the one who like got the magic spider powers and was hunting Madam Web's mom and all this stuff. And now he has like an evil Spider-Man suit that he wears, and he climbs on walls and swings around like a Spider's man. And his whole thing is that he saw the future, and then the 3 Spider Women one day in the future were going to kill him once they have superpowers. So he's like, I got to put a stop to that. Now let me take a quick aside to tell you what a good movie would have done. A good movie would have made him trying to stop them give them superpowers. And probably Madam Web would be supporting them from behind with her future-seeing powers. All right? And then we get to see the time loop play itself out, because what the fuck else are you going to do with a future-seeing power? That's like whatever... I'll get heated. That's not the point. What this movie decided to do was, once Madam Web learned that these 3 young ladies were going to be killed by this not Spider-Man, She kidnaps them and drops them in the woods. And
Okay.
the rest of the movie, she is spent wanted for kidnapping.
But
Which is important because she also goes through all of airport security down to South America and back into New York. Wanted for kidnapping in 2003, we're meant to believe.
okay.
Right after 9/11. When that
Shit did not fly back then.
God damn.
You have a name similar to somebody wanted for kidnapping, and you go to Guantanamo. That was 2003. But we're rose-colored glassesing this completely not Spider-Man movie, because she used the rest of the film to transport her her victims. Really, they come around to her way of thinking because they notice she can read the future and shit.
Stockholm Syndrome, we call that.
Yep. And then the rest of the movie, she uses her future-seeing powers to sneak up on people and hit them with cars.
Oh, what?
She does it 3 times.
Like fucking Dio?
Yes.
What the fuck?
And I love their plan because at the end they're like, we have to stop this evil Spider-Man. We gotta get his ass. But how can we, 4 women, defeat a Spider-Man? I got it. We lure him to the old abandoned fireworks factory. Yes. And then we'll get him there. Well, how do we get him there? Another car accident.
How many fucking car accidents are in this movie?
She hits people with a car 3 times.
But then her friend gets hit by a car.
There's-
She hits 3 people with cars.
Yeah. There's more vehicular manslaughter than Spider-Man's in this movie.
Yeah, fucking crazy. All right.
And then she crushes his ass with the Pepsi sign in the fireworks factory.
Oh my god.
Now,
Product placement.
at
Product
this,
placement.
at this,
Big C.
yeah, the big,
C for the Coke sign.
yeah, the big C got him. Now, she gets out of her vehicle that has been her weapon this entire time during the explosion, and she falls in a puddle, like no water, like very little, just not thrown, not even like a bad fall where you're like, ooh, her knees are gonna be bad, like a into the puddle, plop. She's, by any estimation of somebody seeing this, she's fine. So we cut to the hospital. She's blind and can't walk anymore.
From this puddle fall?
Yeah.
Damn.
Puddles are dangerous.
They're more dangerous than she believed, certainly.
Fuck.
And then we get to... She's talking to her partner, and... Oh, yeah, I forgot about this. Way in the beginning, her partner, EMT guy, his name is Ben. And then now we find out that he's Ben Parker. Uncle Ben.
Oh.
Yeah. And then at the end, he says, like, oh, I hope... I don't fucking remember the exact words. He basically says, like, hope no other spider shenanigans happen around here. Hope it's all quiet. And then she's like, yeah. And she smiles and chuckles. Because we know Spider-Man happens.
Yeah.
But she's smiling at the death of her long-term professional partner.
What the fuck, man?
What's needed for Spider-Man's development?
Right. I don't... if anyone was, like, thinking about my death, if they smiled because, like... But it's going to make... If it made Jesus actually come back magically, and he just fills the world with free bread and all the wine anyone could drink, and everything is just good, and people are thinking about, like... Yeah, Kevin's death's going to cause that. I'd be like, fuck you! You piece of shit, enjoy me for a minute.
Yeah, no. That is pretty fucked if you think about it. God bless you. That does sound abysmal.
Yeah.
Fact. Yeah.
So, the Venom movies.
Yeah.
So Venom 1 was pretty good.
Yeah, not bad.
People had problems with it mostly because they made Venom fight a symbiote who is the exact size, shape, and color as Venom, which made
confusing.
Made it quite confusing, yes. And then they did Venom 2, Let There Be Carnage, in which they decided Woody Harrelson and that Ronald McDonald wig needed to go. We need to just dye his hair. which was a smart choice because in the first Venom we get to see
That
him,
was bad.
and he's got a Ronald McDonald wig on. It's Woody Harrelson in a red curly wig, and then in the next one they actually dye his hair and he like slicks it back, and he looks pretty reasonable, like a real person would.
That wig was bad.
Yeah. Unfortunately, a good portion of the movie involved him being like, I'm so in love with my girlfriend. And Carnage, the symbiote that's like a part of him, and they're so bonded that like they can read each other's minds. And Carnage doesn't care for her. Like, at all. He doesn't like her. That's a pretty good like conflict to mine, right?
Yeah.
You could really get a whole movie out of that conflict.
You really could.
Well, it pretty much just goes into during the last fight when it comes time to choose between like, oh, should I go save my girlfriend or fight Venom? The Carnage symbiote's like, we should fight Venom. And then he's like, but we should save my girlfriend. So Carnage kills the girlfriend, or tries to kill the girlfriend. I'm pretty sure she survives to be in a non-existent alternative fifth Sinister Six that they're not going to make a movie about, because why would they? But they chose like a really good thing that they could really dig like an emotional arc out of, and they're like, and that's just going to be a Chekhov's gun for this one scene. And the rest of the movie is they had already made Venom 1, so they had to make like, what are they like if they're roommates? And it's fun. It's funny even.
Not great though. And the pacing of the movie's not great.
It was more like they had so many ideas and not one of them was a movie.
Yeah.
But they still had a movie to make, so they just made all of them.
Yeah.
And get that can work out. That's fine. That's fine. We didn't need a third Venom.
Didn't need a third Venom. Nothing really happened in it.
So Venom 3 starts up with Null, the god of the symbiote.
I've heard about this.
Really?
He's imprisoned
Damn.
on an alien world.
Really waste this one.
And he can control this race of creatures that hunt symbiotes.
Because the symbiotes betrayed him.
That's why he's in space prison. And he feels now that there's a codex that's been formed. And a codex is when a symbiote was willing to give its life for its human host. That means that their souls are now extra super valuable, and they form into a key to get him out of prison world. So he sends his evil minions to Earth. And Eddie, who at the end of Venom 2 is wanted for murder. And then he gets teleported to another universe in between movies. And then he gets teleported back.
Yeah, he goes to
mainland Marvel.
Yeah, he goes to Marvel timeline.
Yep.
And a little piece of the symbiote gets left there.
Yep.
And he goes back to Sony timeline.
Yep. And then the ad campaign is
they're doing it through. So there's Sony has its own multiverse. Is basically the Sony verse is its own multiverse in the Marvel multiverse.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's canon.
Yep.
Yes.
Oh man, I hate that. Yeah. Oh, I mean, okay, so part of that is kind of cool. I see what they did there, and as someone who does enjoy multiverses, like the way Disgaea has its multiverse, but the whole point of Disgaea is that it's slapstick and nonsensical.
Disgaea is like a parody.
It's a comedy. Yeah. It's a parody of this shit. That sounds like some shit I'd hear in Disgaea.
Well, you're not going to believe what happens the rest of this film.
Okay, let's fucking hear it, man.
Yeah,
so they need to go to Area 51 because that's where all the other symbiotes are, and they're being held by evil science man.
There's like 10 of them
God.
on Earth already.
Yeah.
They've just been collecting them for decades.
So the movie is essentially...
I mean, that sounds pretty cool, but I guess they ruin it?
Eddie and Venom have to travel from like New York or Miami or some shit. Some place they have to get to Area 51. So they have to do a road trip movie.
Oh.
But importantly, every time he uses his powers, that's like putting on the One Ring. Sauron can see your ass and send his minions. Okay? So they get all the way to Las Vegas, where, apropos of nothing, the old Asian lady who runs the convenience store is there, and he puts on Venom, and they like activate their powers
to dance,
to have an extended dance sequence.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
While they know they're being hunted by this intergalactic space monster that's stronger than Venom.
What, so who do they dance for?
The audience.
The audience and themselves, and just throwing a dance number. Why not?
Yeah. It's a very Bollywood scene, if they didn't make it plot relevant that, oh no, because he did that, the monsters are coming.
They just have a spur of the moment, like,
Yes.
Eddie's like,
fuck the consequences.
Yeah,
like,
Eddie's like, we can't do this, and Venom's like, I'm gonna do this.
Yeah.
Venom, the symbiote does this.
Yes.
Yeah. He
What's the
comes
symbiote's motivation for doing this?
the Chinese lady that runs a convenience store they love.
Yeah.
What about her?
She's
That's
there
her.
in Vegas.
She's in Vegas.
She's like,
and
she's having a
she's-
good time. She's
yeah.
like, let's dance, Venom. And Venom's like, fuck yeah, let's dance.
So he just loves this woman? Does Venom, like...
Yeah, they're homies. But it's an old Korean or Chinese lady.
Yeah.
And they're just homies.
I am dumbfounded. I am dumbfounded by
They've
this.
been homies since Venom 1.
It's baffling.
It is. It kind of is. Because both of them realize, when we do this, this monster will come.
And
And
this
it is stronger than
it
us,
is stronger
and we
than
could
Venom's
die.
specifically,
That's just bad
and
writing.
everyone around you will die.
And then Venom's just like worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also,
I can't.
an
condone
important part
that.
of Venom 1 is every time like a symbiote like joins up with something, like that thing like has an 80% chance to die. They just die. That's why like there weren't symbiotes everywhere. Like once the symbiote leaves, that thing just curls up and dies. That was a thing in Venom 1. And it's irrelevant because Venom is like a frog and like a horse.
He's just venoming on
Venom
everything.
is just venoming on everything left and right, and just to hell with the consequences, I guess. It's an insane film. So, remember way back at the beginning, Null?
Yeah.
Get him out of your head. He doesn't show up.
What?
Not important in this
What?
one.
No, that is not what this film is about.
Okay.
This film is a celebration of Eddie and Venom's relationship.
BFFs.
Yep.
You set it up so cool. How could you do this?
Right?
No.
Which Null's kind of a cool character.
No, he is.
They could have made this a good movie in a lot of ways.
And for my D&D setting, I actually based one of the Pantheon gods off of Null. The idea of symbiosis being like a deification.
Well, like he's like even removed from like the symbiotes. Like
Like pretty interesting character,
he
yeah.
was, but like they really hyped the fuck out of him in the comics. Where it's like I only know like a little bit about him, but it's like before creation in the void there was Null, and he was just there.
Yeah.
Hanging out.
He was just in the void, and then like creation happened. He was like, I hate that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna fight it. Like,
He's
I
like the
don't-
personification of the Call of the Void.
Yeah,
Return
it's
to
like I
nothing.
don't like that shit.
Yeah.
Like, and then Celestials showed up, which if you don't know what a Celestial is, they're gigantic suits of space god armor
Yeah.
who go around creating life everywhere.
I call them Matanuis.
They're the reasons
That's the god
Eternals
from
happened
Biological.
or Deviants happened and all that shit. And then he can just casually kill those.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Null's
Metal.
just apparently that much.
Null is so strong that a starving, like, all but dead man holding his sword is as strong as most gods.
How does Galactus relate to a Celestial?
He is not one.
Not at all.
Okay, are they just similar categories?
They just
of
look
beings?
similar.
Yeah,
Or is he
yeah.
below a Celestial?
No, he is a cosmic.
He's a
like,
cosmic
constant.
Like, yeah, he's a force of the universe that
Yeah.
is at its beginning and end.
Yeah, he is just a necessary part of the unit. He just represents like the cessation of life. Like,
If we had to put them like on a ladder, he would be above the Celestials.
depending,
Not in power, but in like importance to the universe.
they really like to fuck with Galactus, and like depending on how well fed he is, his power really goes up and down.
Yeah.
because there are instances of Celestials like beating him, but that's like
I mean, a guy with stretchy powers beat him up once.
yeah, it's,
His power level is all over the place.
Basically, Galactus gets dwarfed a lot.
Yeah.
He's used to show like, look how strong that other guy is. But then like there'll be other times where he's just like, I just ate a whole planet, and then he fucks your shit up.
And then he beats up Ghost Rider and makes Ghost Rider into a Silver
So
Surfer.
what about Null compared to Galactus?
That's hard.
'Cause Null sounds like he's a pretty bad dude.
I think he'd win.
Yeah, Null is...
I'm not like too clear on what exactly he can do, but casually being able to just murk Celestials is like a big deal.
Yeah. Null is one of the higher end characters.
So how does
highest
your,
end?
how does relate to symbiotes then? I think
He created
He invented
he made them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And then they turned on him and then became a planet around him, and that's his prison.
Yeah. And then he made these other creatures to hunt down the symbiotes because he's like, you motherfuckers.
Yeah, he's like, I don't much like being imprisoned.
Who would?
Yeah.
The Necro sword that Gore the God Butcher uses is the sword that Null actually made to make the symbiote like species, and like Gore was a dude. The sword isn't like Mjolnir, where like you have the powers of the guy who normally owns it. It's just like such a good sword that like its basic pluses to his stats put him on the level of like, yeah, I beat up Thor. What of it?
Hell yeah.
He's still got ribs showing.
They killed his granddad.
Yeah.
Bor or something.
Yeah.
The names are ridiculous. Gore the God Butcher killed Bor or whatever, like Odin's dad.
Yeah. There's a concept that I really enjoy that they've not like stopped using out of like some respectfulness for like modern sensibilities of like, oh, isn't that like typically they'll throw away things that they think are goofy and old fashioned in like the Marvel movies, but like using Odin's son as if it's just his like Thor's last name, that really gets me, because in mythology even claiming yourself to be Odin's son is supposed to elicit gasps. In the comics on Asgard, if he was to reveal to somebody, I am the Odin's son, they'd be like, so, you're a pretty you're a pretty cool guy. I'm a pretty cool guy too. Meanwhile, and they're like, and that's Thor Odinson. That's neat. Just moving on. It's his last name. It's like how like we have just like established, despite the fact that Mega Man's name in America is Mega Man.
Yeah.
He doesn't have a first name.
No.
But in Japan, he's called Rockman, and they call him Rock.
Yeah, his name was Rock, because his sister is Roll, and then
So-
he became Rockman when they made him into a warrior.
Yeah. So we just, like, in the fandom, it's like, that means that his Christian name is Rock, and his title is Mega Man. He's a Mega Man,
Yeah.
name of Rock Light.
Yes. Canon. Fact.
These are facts.
These are facts.
Dude, I fucking love Mega Man. We watched, I'm gonna look up the actual guy's name because I gotta put respect on it. Kevin and I watched like an 8-hour documentary breaking
my
down
goodness.
all of Mega Man.
The entire Mega Man timeline.
And the best part...
Oh, yeah. What do you think is the latest point in
yeah,
the Mega Man
yeah.
timeline? What game is the furthest
Oh, I
Mega
remember you guys talking about this on one of the podcasts.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure we did because we love talking about
Yeah,
this.
I wasn't sure I touched on it already, so it's good. Thank you for
I think
reminding
you
me.
did. I think you did. But I forget. Wait. No. Yeah, I forgot. No.
Makes no sense.
Mega Man Legends.
This Nintendo 64 game?
Yeah.
That was a
With
good
Tron Bon. That is actually so far in the future that the concepts of human and like machine have become one.
Yeah,
Makes
because
sense.
so one thing, the key that was the aha moment for me was when he explained that the carbons, like the humans you see in Mega Man Legends, some of them just have robot arms and shit, and it's not a big deal.
And you assume it's because anime, right?
Yeah, no, it's so. Remember Bon Bon, the
Yeah.
third Teasel, that's a baby.
Yeah.
Well, because they just replaced all of his body parts with robot parts. He's a human. The carbons are humans. Humans are carbons. Einhorn is Finkel. Finkel is Einhorn. Because the beautiful thing about it is that like ZX was like the last as far as the franchise got before like Legends being the end, and ZX really touched upon how like by the time we're in that game series, Reploids and humans are indistinguishable. Reploids even have timers on them now, so they die like humans. But the human lifespan is extremely long now because they replace all the parts with fucking robot parts. So like you're just plugging and triggering parts with your Reploid or a human, and then the logical evolution of that in the last timeline is that there's literally no distinction anymore, and that blew my fucking mind because I remember being a kid and being like, so their little brother's just a robot? Are they saying that because it's cute? Like he's in their family even though he's a robot? How does that make any sense? I always want to know the answer to that. The answer is that no, that's actually their fucking little brother. Like,
Yeah.
Like
This happens to also be a giant robot.
yeah, they just put his basically his brain is in that thing. Yeah, crazy.
I love this just crazy long like YouTube format of like here's all of the lore.
It was by Ben Saint. I'll post the card to the video. Ben Saint did a 8-hour explanation of all of Mega Man, and it was fucking excellent. I highly recommend it. Like,
You know, it was also excellent, but far too short.
what?
That secret level for Mega Man.
I didn't see that
haven't
one
seen
yet.
it
I
yet.
haven't seen that
It's
one
amazing, but it's only like 10 minutes.
yet. I hate that. That's gonna make me so angry.
And spoiler, it's just the start.
This is the beginning of Mega Man.
Just when Rock becomes Mega Man,
I love this.
and then he's Mega Man at the very end. He teleports out and he's gonna start his first mission, and it's over.
No, you can't do that. No.
Yeah, it's just like
Oh man.
I've really enjoyed every single secret level thing that I've seen.
no, it's so good.
Yeah, all of them are good.
I really just hope that they this isn't all they're doing with these things.
It is.
The one that made me like scream.
Let me hope.
No, don't hope.
The one that made me like scream a little bit, like in like shock for like not knowing what the series was, and then like realizing what it was, because I didn't understand. I didn't play New World, but that was one of my favorite ones. Was the New World one because it was just funny. Like, Aestrom still lives. Like
Angstrom,
Aestrom,
Aelstrom,
yeah, something like
yeah.
that. That was a really good bit, but the Unreal Tournament one, because I don't know shit about that game's lore. It's Unreal Tournament 91, I guess. Some of my guildies are talking about it, and when I just saw like slave robot getting mistreated, this is sad. And then rise up, slave robot, fight back. And then like I'm like, what the fuck game? What IP is this? This is so intense. And then, like, you know, they have the little tournament thing, and then I hear the thing, I'm like, no fucking way. And I look it up, and I'm like, it's Unreal Tournament. No fucking way. That's crazy.
I don't know what Unreal Tournament is. I thought it was about volleyball.
No, Unreal Tournament is,
It's a deathmatch.
it's a deathmatch, yeah.
game.
That's where, like, those shout-outs of, like, multi-kill. That's where all that comes from, yeah.
Huh.
That's when I learned that it was Unreal Tournament. It's like, he said, like,
I don't know shit.
First Blood. And I, like, lost my mind. I was like, that's what this is?
It's like
That's what I'm watching right now?
It's like a proto, like Halo style deathmatch. Like that's where it like gets all those like kind of tropes.
Why did I think it was about volleyball?
You're only thinking Dead or Alive.
I'm probably thinking of
Dead or Alive is like a volleyball mini game that's basically porn. Yes.
Yeah, that's what you're thinking.
That's probably what I'm thinking
It
of.
is.
I
We're
remember.
gonna enhance the tit physics.
Yeah.
Yeah, the jiggle physics. Yeah, that fucking so degenerate.
There was
It's
one
crazy.
game that I saw a while ago that it made me laugh even conceptually. I'm glad that I didn't see any more of it. I'm glad that it's not still around. Because the game was a fighting game, ostensibly, where you were playing anime girls and the only weapon that you had, the only special move that you had was oil. And you were trying to wring them out, so you would need to like oil them up so that when you knock them down, they slide.
Oh man.
Oh yeah.
But it's just two anime women getting all oily, smacking into each other with their tits and ass.
Fun.
And I remember looking at that like, I don't get porn games as a concept, I guess. They're not for me, certainly, because I couldn't... You can't be horny and competitive.
Horniness.
Really?
That's just life.
I mean, the game would have to be really good.
It's probably got solid mechanics.
I guess like it's
Probably really
distracting,
technical
but
game.
you're being distracted by the thing you're focusing on. So
Yeah.
how does that even work?
I would assume it's also a game that you only need like one hand for the controls.
Otherwise, it's just bad game
Intuitive
design.
design.
Otherwise, it's just bad game design. God.
Reminds me of the anime with the swimsuit one where they just use their hips and busts to
Yeah.
know each other.
Yeah.
What's that
the
called?
butt
Yeah.
one.
Keijo, I
I
think.
think something like that. That's a good one.
Uh,
we need more of that.
It has like 8 exclamation
I
points.
couldn't, man.
afterwards.
I fucking
I
couldn't.
fucking love that
It's
show.
really
Apparently, it was
So
good.
good.
Everyone,
Solid.
I've heard from multiple people it was good. And I
It's a
trust
good
both of their
shonen
opinions.
power struggle.
Do you know what the problem with anime
It
is?
doesn't take
Is that
itself
you can have
seriously.
things that are good, and then when you... But, like, the idea of showing these things, you know why you shouldn't be showing it to people. You know you know intrinsically that regardless of it being good, you shouldn't be showing it to
No. It's that like there's a select group I can only show this to.
Yeah.
That's the
Yes.
distinction.
That is exactly. You have to be of a kind.
Like I'm pretty sure I tried to get everyone to watch it. Like, and I guess Nick was the only one.
Oh, I loved it.
And
I never saw it.
but
It's great.
fucking
Give it a
hilarious.
chance.
I was
Like they're twisting their
so
hips till they
hooked,
gyrate. Yeah.
like immediately, especially when they go to the ass wrestling school.
Yeah.
And then they take
take this shit
ass
seriously.
astrology class.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
And then they're like,
It's an Olympic level
their
sport.
part of their training is they have to walk on their ass like it's cow and chicken.
Jesus
Like,
fucking Christ!
it's so good. Like, and then like they get saved at one point because
fuck.
there's like a bunch of falling beams or something, and then like one of the pro ass wrestlers comes and just knocks them all over with her ass. It knows exactly what it is. It's
Let's do it,
amazing.
yeah.
I love it.
That's crazy.
One of the girls, her power is her hand is a Sharingan. If she touches your ass, she gains all your techniques.
Yeah.
It's amazing. And then she uses the gate. Her ultimate move is the gate of Bootylon,
No.
where she uses
No.
all
I've
the,
seen that GIF.
she
Yeah.
uses all the dozens
it's
of
Gilgamesh.
techniques all at once.
Yeah.
The Gilgamesh
Oh
shit.
my
You know when all the
fucking
swords are coming
God.
out, except it's
Yeah.
asses?
It's different asses.
Oh my fucking god!
It's incredible.
I've seen that.
And then one of the girls, she doesn't have a big bust, but it's kind of like her iron defense, I think, or something like that. Yeah. The white-haired girl. Wasn't she like the defensive type?
No, her whole thing is she gives herself a wedgie,
Oh, that's
and then
what it was.
she
yeah.
gets super speed.
Yeah.
I hate this. I hate this.
Yeah,
Whatever,
that's what
man.
it
And then what is it?
No, it's great stuff.
number-
Give it a watch.
The number one ranked
All right,
chick
yeah.
at their school, she uses a forbidden technique where she hypnotizes you with her tits
Oh man.
by swaying them in a specific way.
You'd think they'd be desensitized by now.
Tony, it's amazing. Then there's also this other chick who's like a legacy ass
Oh,
wrestler.
fuck.
Her mom's like a pro ass wrestler, so she's just really good. But her whole thing is her ass, which she calls Kerberos, is on autopilot.
Does she have 3 cheeks?
Are you saying that
No.
her ass has ultra instinct?
Basically,
Yeah.
she just zoops around ass first and doesn't think about what she's doing because she's been trained her whole life.
Doesn't the main character learn an ass technique that she's not good enough to use and it's breaking her?
Oh
hips?
yeah. So
That's how you know it's a Shonen
the
power
main
struggle.
character's thing.
That's how you know it's a Shonen power
is
struggle.
she learns the forbidden technique by accident because she's just that athletic, and then she gets trained by a teacher who that was her technique. But she has to wear like a special suit that like restricts her movements so she can learn to move properly because otherwise she'll
gonna
break
break
her
her
hips and then she won't be able to compete. And that's her thing is she basically gets like she basically does the wind scar but with her ass. It has like
Yeah.
Fucking
it
Christ,
has the
dude.
most like obliterating force out of all the techniques. It's
But
incredible.
she can't use it all the time.
So I'm not gonna lie. My read on what the my only like thing that I've seen scenes out of this, and I'll be honest, a lot of the things that I saw out of it were out of a series called AMV Hell. Go check them out. A new one just came out.
Really?
Yep,
They're still
AM
going?
Yep.
God damn.
They took a bunch of years off, but they're at 8.5 now. 8 and 8.5 just came out in the last like month of each other. Like,
Oh, wow.
yeah. Anyway, I've seen it basically through there. What I assumed was that like when we want to like just do a scene where they're just smashing like tits and ass into each other, we go to the actual matches. But otherwise, I imagined it was a very lighthearted series that wouldn't have like shonen power struggle aspects to it at all.
No, 100%.
Yeah, these
Oh.
girls go to like an academy to
Yeah.
train
Also-
in their ass powers.
When an anime or any series really has like the conceit of like, and then they go to a school that's about this one thing, every time I just think, no way. No way there's ass school.
I'm saying.
No, there can be an ass club,
Oh,
an
fuck.
ass association,
That's where it starts. Ass club, ass association.
but
And then the
do you
people
know
get hooked on it.
do
and you
you
need
know
an
the
ass
economic power that is? We don't have soccer high schools. And soccer is played all over
That's
the world to
because-
such a point that the World Cup can basically execute smaller countries at
No,
will.
It's because Kevin, all right, Keijo has become the #1 sport in the world. Everyone's crazy about ass wrestling.
It's bananas.
Yeah, they have academies about it.
A plurality of them.
Yes, no, that's the finale. They're fighting a rival academy.
Yeah.
Of course.
Who their main chick's thing is she uses ki.
I'm sorry, there's like Goku does?
Yeah, well, chi, I guess, actually. Yeah, she...
karate man.
Yeah, she's not, like, physically strong, but she, like, and then she uses her, like, spirit energy, basically, and you get blown away by her ass.
What a fucking guy, dude. Okay, all right.
Okay, if that's an option, why the hell are they teaching the hip breaking technique?
She's
teaching that.
She's an outlier. She just has access to her chi.
If there was one boxer who actually did a Kamehameha, do you think that there would be any boxing like gyms that aren't like in development of their own Hadouken?
But that's the thing.
Trying their best, killing every like potential athlete out of high school, being like, no, you're gonna do Hadouken practice until we figure it out because it can happen.
You're underestimating the ultimate technique. It's that strong. That the main girls, she learns. She takes that and fights ki.
She fights actual kung fu, magic kung fu with her butt.
That is so.
God fucking damn it.
Also, because she worked hard and she trained.
Yeah. She rock lead through it.
What a fucking...
Which is an inspirational story because she's a country bumpkin and she got accepted to the school because she's so athletic.
Is this
Oh my
competition,
fucking God.
sport, whatever you'll call it? Is it like sumo where it's till ring out,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
is there
Yeah.
scoring?
You're on
Ring
platforms that
Okay.
like move on water.
Okay, that
And you're in sexy swimsuits, obviously.
Of course.
And you're not allowed to use your hands. And
Only
you
hit
have to wrestle
tits.
with the other person off the platform with your ass.
Or tits.
Well, yeah, but that's less common.
Yeah, it is less common.
and that's not where the muscles are.
No, it's
Largest muscle group in the body is the ass.
Yeah.
That part made sense to me. I haven't been questioning that at all.
Oh my God.
It's so good.
Yeah, different kinds of arenas too. It's not just circle and pool. No, they got contraptions and
Yeah,
different multiple platforms.
Yeah, the finale, there's like also like a jungle gym situation. It's like, yeah, big, long, like metal.
They
like,
put him in a
pipes.
cage match.
Basically.
yeah.
It's still on water, but
Of course.
yeah,
Need swimsuits.
the whole thing. It's also very heartfelt at sometimes. Because Sharingan Girl, she was secretly getting techniques by offering butt massages.
Oh my fucking God.
But then at the very end...
If anyone knows about her power, then that's
No,
on,
that's just...
that's
no-
on them to not see the free. That's the free bird seed technique. Absolutely not. That's not even trickery
So,
anymore.
like, nobody knew at first, but then it comes out that, like, that's her thing. That's what she can do. And then it's like they're going to go to the big match against the other school or whatever. And there's a thing where it's like they get her into, like, the gymnasium or something. And then everyone else is lined up on the balcony and the railing. And they're all just like, we're here for you. And then they stick their ass into the between the rungs of the railing.
Right, that way she can.
Offering their asses to her, and she's like,
She can do the running-
Mina! And she gets all teary-eyed about it.
Dude, what the fuck are you talking
And then
about?
she
This is why this is amazing. I love this shit.
Does she do the running high five like you're high fiving the whole crowd, but it's
No,
just ass touch?
she's just so touched at the gesture, and then presumably she then later gathers all their techniques by rubbing their asses later. It's just a really heartfelt moment.
Dude, I might hate anime.
It's about the spirit of competition.
Fucking Christ,
It really is.
dude.
You know.
What the fuck? You know what? I'm glad you enjoyed it.
I'm mad they haven't made more of it.
It's important
should.
to celebrate creative things, and I gotta say, I wouldn't have thought to make that.
Yeah, no, that sounds. It's definitely interesting. It's definitely fun, and it's definitely creative.
And
Like,
most importantly,
I'm just a hater. You know, maybe I should watch it.
more importantly than anything, they're just drawings.
Yeah, it's spoilers on the screen. At the end of the day, no people were harmed doing this,
Yeah.
except the artist drawing it because of the conditions of the anime industry.
It also likes the references. So there's like the Gate of Bootylon, and then the other school that they fight has like this gigantic ogre girl, and her thing is a Butak on Titan. And where her ass is she's just like an unstoppable avalanche, essentially.
So there's a thing that happens a lot in anime that I think is very funny. because they had like the ogre character, where there's like a larger character than everybody else, stronger. Like they always do that, but they tell you like how big these characters are. It's like they normally use centimeters.
She's gigantic.
So in our primitive Western minds, we have no idea of how large these characters are supposed to be until we convert them into piles of apples or whatever unit of measurement your state uses. And then you find out that like this guy's the ogre. He's 5'9".
Massive.
Truly a unit. Unstoppably
God bless.
gigantic.
Downright silly.
Just an average, regular guy from, like, Sweden, like, walking around. Hello.
Yeah, I
God, look at the size of him.
That's like JoJo's.
188 centimeters.
Oh yeah, that's the plot of JoJo.
183 centimeters.
Yeah, they're all
what
just
they
like
say.
they're all just 6'5", and it's like, oh my god.
They're all 6'5" with, like, gigantic monster bodies.
Beautiful.
Like Mr. Universe bodies until, like, very abruptly they're like, what if, hear me out, what if we convert them all to twinks?
Yeah, dude, it happened
Overnight.
mid-season.
Overnight.
Or not even mid, like at the beginning of part fucking 4 or whatever.
Yeah.
That
Like-
was unbreakable. Yeah,
Yeah.
what if we twinkify them all?
Which Old Man Will had told me that in his experience, he didn't like it that much, and then they introduced the villain, and it became his favorite one. I'm of a similar mind. It's not my favorite one, but like, I almost stopped watching JoJo's because I got to the meme part. I think I'm done, and then I just begrudgingly was watching it. And I was like, okay, this part's fine, whatever. It's pretty episodical, like. It's whatever. And then they introduced Kira, and I was like, oh, I can get down with this shit. Because he's such a compelling villain. Like,
Have you read the manga?
For which part?
All of it?
No, I'm reading. I just started reading because I started
I'm about
reading
to go.
Jolene,
Yeah.
and at first I was like, I don't really. I'm not
I stopped
cool.
at Jolene too, yeah.
So,
But keep going.
yes.
Oh, man.
It is.
Okay.
It does get better.
Okay.
And now I'm into Jolene.
Steel Ball Run is apparently the one that
That's the
everyone
one.
likes.
That's what I want to talk
The
about.
one.
And I need to get to it.
You need to read.
Yeah, I need to get to
Steel
it.
Ball Run. Well, Jolene is after
So-
SBR.
So it's Jojo. It's spelled Jojo Lion,
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
and it goes from part
Wait,
4.
which one's the one with the prison?
That's
Stone Ocean.
Stone Ocean.
With Jolene.
Yeah, that's the one I'm talking about. That's where
Yes.
I stopped. Yeah.
That's
She's the worst joke.
Yeah, I just didn't
But-
fucking care.
the only JoJo to not win.
It's good that she's the worst JoJo because it gives us SBR.
Yeah, let the universe get reset so that we can have wacky races, JoJo.
That's the one I want to read. So.
It's
I
the good-
can't wait for them to animate that.
They keep faking us out with announcements of like, oh, we have a Steel Ball Run announcement coming, and it's like, you do? And they're like, yeah. A fan made a version of an intro out of the manga he colored, and we think it's pretty cool, don't you? And everyone's like, how's that an announcement? And they're like, we thought it was cool. and we're all just like, why would you do this, you sick fuck? And they've done it twice now.
They have. They got me both times.
Yep.
I was like,
That's
yes, finally.
cool.
Like, wait,
That's cruel.
no,
Yeah.
no. This is just panels from the manga.
Here's the doozy, Empty. I'm going to put a curse on you.
Oh, yeah.
They're going to announce it, and then it's going to be a Netflix exclusive again. And then they're going to release it, but it's going to be one of the only things on Netflix to not be released all at once.
Oh man.
That's the curse I'm putting on you
don't
right
do
now.
that.
I forgot Stone Ocean was a Netflix
Because
exclusive.
they did a few things where they released it at one episode at a time every week. They've done that a few times now, but very, very few and far between. Even Arcane was broken up. They did 3 episodes at a time.
Yeah, they did it in 3 parts.
Yeah. So
Which it was
Did you hear me
good.
talking about that I watched the newest Beastars.
I saw
Which-
that was out.
I shouldn't have, I guess.
Yeah.
But,
Did you enjoy it?
So it's not done. I can only
Oh, okay.
presume. It says final season, and then
Yeah.
they leave it. On,
It would have to because Melon's in it.
they leave it on a cliffhanger.
What's the
This
clip?
this season was?
Is this season over?
It's 12 episods so far.
It might be part 1, part 2 then.
Yeah.
Then it has
Yeah.
to be because it says the final season. It's not season 3. It's final season.
Right.
Raggy.
Are you familiar with Beastars?
Oh yes,
Did you read Baki?
of course.
Good.
So many.
You know, it's his daughter, right?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. That shit
I know
always.
that fever dream baby.
Yeah, dude. I don't know. Imagine being the progeny of the guy who made Baki.
You're not gonna
turn out like
No,
you're gonna
you're
be
all right.
touched at least a little bit.
He's a weird fucking guy.
Yeah.
Regardless of like whether or not you can divorce his art from like his personality, like let's say he's nothing like he must be to make Baki. Let's assume he's a regular guy. But he still made Baki.
You're not a regular guy for thinking that.
Which means that for all of his regularness, he's going to pass something along, isn't he?
Yeah,
Something small and internal. A single genealogical flaw with a Baki face and Yujiro eyebrows.
Yeah. It's definitely an interesting bloodline.
And crazy muscles.
So wait, what was the last? I guess spoilers. What was the last thing that happened in this season?
He pushes him in. What's it? Fucking the wolf, Legoshi into the ocean, tied to a chair.
I don't remember this, but I'm sure that that's definitely not the ending I know.
Melon is just like, ha ha ha, I love being evil, and then pushes him into the water, and then he goes back to teaching college, and fucking what's her face is there in class, and is like, he hasn't called me, what's up with that? And then it's just end scene.
Huh.
And so presumably there's going to be more.
There has to be.
You know what? I'll have to watch it because I had a hunch, because she didn't end the manga properly, that she might try to do a different ending with this.
Yeah.
So now I'm actually interested to watch this so I can see for myself, because I don't fully. If that leads to what I think it does, because the whale.
Right.
I feel like that's the next scene.
This is the time to do it.
Yeah, but I don't remember. Because the ending was such a fever dream.
Right.
It's like all blurred to me now. Like, it started out as one of those shows.
Right, but Madam Web could have been a good movie too.
I read it because of Big Tony, and then I was going through it, and I was like, "This is actually genuinely an interesting information plot because you love fucking mysteries."
Yeah.
And so I told Kevin about it, and I was like, "Unironically, this is pretty good."
It really
like,
pissed me off at first.
It's big furry shit, but like, yeah, it's actually pretty good.
What pissed me off was also what kept me reading it, because the start, if you haven't read Beastars, the start of it is this is a world where there's animal people, there's predators, there's prey, what have you, and then the start of it, somebody got murdered by a carnivore because they got eaten. Like they're as graphically murdered as this setting can allow, and this character, the main character, he's like, no, something's different about this. It's not just something happening. I need to investigate. I'll dedicate all my time to this. And then we don't hear back about that murder for 100 chapters. It's insane.
Yeah.
They don't even bring it up again.
Yeah, basically, like, it almost feels like it stopped being relevant as they're doing slice of life bullshit. But the anime surmised it really well.
Good.
Yeah, it's also like the end of season 1 is like from the culprit's perspective, and so you see that season 2 is going to be about that, and then it just is. It's like was really. Though, just once again, the anime I think is better than the manga because the manga is a fever dream.
Right. The
like,
manga.
She will pick up subplots and then just kind of drop them and forget that, like, kind of write herself into a corner. I don't know.
And unlike Baki, you can't karate your way around it. Her father's writing style isn't going.
That sounds like a doozy.
Her father's writing style isn't doing her any favors. There's a snake that shows up that seems like an interesting cop character that we actually get to see. Like, there's a justice system and investigative body taking control here.
Who lives in the walls.
Lives in the walls.
Yeah.
That doesn't even show up again, does it?
No, never again. No.
It's also like a snake and not a snake person.
Yeah.
Just an actual snake.
It's just a giant snake with a hat.
Everyone else has like hands and thumbs and shit.
How does that work?
How
do they drive a car?
There's no consistency in Beastars.
Not even kind of.
Apparently, also I found out in season 3, fish are just fish.
Yeah, fish are just fish.
But they're also people.
Yeah. Some of them.
They order udon and soba noodles.
How do you feed a fish udon?
They
You just dump it in his tank?
It dumps it.
They'd be the
own
easiest
mouth.
ones to feed udon. You just lower it.
And then they pay with seashells. They get converted into real money. Yeah,
Yeah,
it doesn't make any
face
sense.
palming.
It
He's
doesn't-
face palming.
The problem with that is that means that there's an entire other half of this world, like BoJack Horseman, where they show the
It's what it
underwater
is.
world.
Yeah,
That's what. I genuinely think she saw the episode of BoJack Horseman and then made that arc. I genuinely think that's
he
what
makes
happened.
friends with a seal man who explains that in the sea we don't worry about this whole
Yep, I remember
carnivore and herbivore nonsense. We just eat each other and it's cool. We understand that's just how life works.
No way.
Yeah, and Lego, she's like, really? That's like, oh, okay.
You can do that?
Like, that sounds kind of fucked up.
Yeah, damn right.
And the seal man's like, no, it's beautiful.
Remember the eggs thing?
Oh,
Yeah, that also was
what a weird arc.
Not,
That was pretty weird.
I didn't
Not
like
even an
that.
arc, like a side story.
That we didn't need to know about that.
Eggs are
Or
still just
premium
eggs,
eggs.
laid
Yeah.
by chicken people.
Yeah, they're so
Oh,
and,
no.
Yeah.
and chickens will like just for like extra pocket change just sell their eggs to like restaurants and stuff, so they can use them.
Here's my period.
And they make
Basically.
there's a scene that in the manga it was like a little aside chapter where it's just following a chicken girl, and Legoshi always buys her eggs. He's like, these are the best eggs.
In the anime, it's a cold opening.
Terrible.
Yeah.
Which means that they think it's pretty, like, people are going to want to see this. This is going to be a good hook. People aren't going to be able to switch off after we show them that our main
Yeah,
character.
it's just surreal, dude.
Yeah.
It's fucking surreal. 100%. And with that, we're going to end the episode here. Thank you so much for listening. If you enjoy the nature of this podcast, go ahead and give me a like and subscribe on YouTube at Famfare. You can also follow me on Blue Sky as well as Instagram. And with that, have a great night.
Have a good night, everybody.
Good night.
Bye.